welcome to Jacob's Quest, and today we got a brand new trailer for Marvel Studios' Secret Invasion, which I guess is the next Disney Plus show. I know in the last month or so, Disney has been like pushing back a lot of Marvel movies and a lot of Marvel shows. Obviously, Ant-Man didn't perform so well, so they're trying to correct course, and then they had a lot of drama going on behind the scenes, which that's a whole other video on its own. But yeah, they got a lot of stuff going on, and they haven't been doing so hot lately. But here we go. This is Secret Invasion, the first trailer that we've seen, really anything at all since Quantumania came out and did what it did. So yeah. Also, Nick Fury. The last time we saw Nick Fury, I believe, was at the end of Spider-Man Far From Home, the one with Mysterio, I believe, because at the end it turned out that Nick Fury was actually Talos, right, from his Captain Marvel. So yeah, Nick Fury was out in space somewhere, supposedly, maybe on the Sword headquarters or something. We're not entirely sure yet because they haven't really explored what was going on with that spaceship. I assume it was Sword or something, but maybe we'll find out. Here we go. This is Secret Invasion.
Fury, since you've been gone, things have gotten much worse.
Okay.
Why do you think I came back?
You're in no shape for this fight that lies before us, old friend.
Okay, a bunch of scrolls, I guess.
This is personal.
Very few of us know about the wars fought in the shadows that have raged on
Hey,
this
it's him. Everett Ross, right?
Do you feel responsible?
Maybe Clark's character.
Where are the Avengers?
Yeah, where are
This
they?
war is one I have to fight alone.
You're the most wanted man on the planet.
Day Road is here. Why is he the
What
most
they have
wanted?
planned for you.
The great Nick Fury.
Oh, snap.
One last fight.
Secret Invasion. Okay. Did they give us a date? Did I miss it? I might have missed it. What did it say? June 21st. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so the only real big, it's a lot of cryptic talk here. Well, first of all, there's something going. They have some kind of specimen from S.H.I.E.L.D., so that's interesting. But I did notice, of course. Where's it at? Come on. It was somewhere over here. Here, let's let this play through. I did notice one of the, I assume, big bad guys has something interesting going on. Yeah, that. Here, let's see if we can. There we go. Yeah, so, obviously that's not typical Skrull stuff, the ability to stretch like that. So there have been rumors that they're going to start involving what are they called, super Skrulls or something like that. Basically Skrulls that not just change the way they look, but also adapt some kind of powers. They get like the powers of people that they change into or something. Now this is like a stretchy power, so I'm sure they're kind of like, the MCU usually kind of like changes things how they were in the comics. So this is just, maybe they're just gonna vaguely get random powers. I mean, they haven't even introduced the Fantastic Four yet, so you can't say that this is Mr. Fantastic's power or anything. But But yeah, this guy right here, you see him all over the trailer, so I assume he's, or at least this is the Skrulls taking this guy's form. So I don't know who this character is supposed to be, or why all these different Skrulls, because we saw in that bar earlier, all the Skrulls took this guy's form. I don't know why they would do that. Yeah, see, like, and we saw this in the other teaser before, so whoever this guy is, he must be important somehow, because, you know, they're all looking like him right now. But yeah, you know, obviously the tone is what we mostly get an idea of here. Very, you know, as it should be with Nick Fury, espionage, you know, kind of spy thriller. You know, what's going on? What's the big mystery? S.H.I.E.L.D. has secrets, and I'm sure S.W.O.R.D. is involved somehow. Yeah, I think there's also been rumors, or maybe they confirmed this, that Emilia Clarke might be Talos's daughter, and she might be the big bad guy of the show, which is interesting. Obviously, we last saw her in the 90s in Captain Marvel, so, you know, the timeline adds up there. Now, yeah, the Skrulls, you know, some people were kind of upset that the Skrulls were good guys in Captain Marvel, or at the very least they were, you know, the Kree were worse than the Skrulls, so Captain Marvel helped the Skrulls, you know. So you know, because I think in the comics they're famously just bad guys, and it looks like that's definitely where they're going, is that, like, okay, so there's going to be a faction of Skrulls here who are not good. Now what exactly is Nick Fury wanted for? Because they even go to his grave that we saw at the end of Winter Soldier. So, you know, of course, I think officially he's supposed to have been dead. And then we have Talos, who's been, you know, kind of just parading around as Nick Fury underground for, like, how many years now? I mean, like, again, we saw him in Far From Home, and I think he even mentions being at Tony Stark's funeral. So it's like, was that still Talos, or was that the real Nick Fury at the funeral? When did Nick Fury leave? Because, you know, was that him who got dusted, or was that actually still Talos that got dusted that we saw at the end of Infinity War? Like, how far back does this go? Hopefully we get a bit of a clear answer on that, because I don't know how long Nick Fury was in space. You know, it's totally possible that you know, the person we saw get dusted by Thanos was actually not Nick Fury at all. And then that would mean Nick Fury, the real one, was around for those entire 5 years, right? So, you know, there's a lot of questions, because it was very vague as to, like, okay, but how long has he been Nick Fury? You know, and how long, you know, where's Nick Fury been at? He's just been in space. That's all we really know. We know that Skrulls were involved, and he was on a spaceship. And that's it. You know, he was looking for his shoes last time we saw him. Where's my shoes? So yeah, now I love the vibe we're getting here. Obviously we saw that Rhodey's gonna be here, but then, you know, of course we have to ask, is that really Rhodey, or was that just a Skrull? Because we know we got Armor Wars coming out, which was Armor Wars changed into a movie? Because I know it was supposed to be a show. I want to say it might have been one of the ones that was turned into a movie. Again, Marvel Studios has been doing some shuffling around. They've pushed, like, everything back. I believe the rumors are that some shows that were announced are now going to be special premiere events, or whatever they call those. You know, so yeah, this is interesting. Look, I think one thing that I can definitely agree with a lot of people on is that, you know, Marvel, you know, typically they've been doing, like, you know, really serious stuff and then really goofy stuff, right? And they've kept that balance of, like, you know, we get a goofy entry and we get a serious entry. And it does feel like we've kind of missed a more serious entry lately, you know, and I think it was a combination of, you know, Thor Love and Thunder came out, and then She-Hulk came out, and then Ant-Man Quantumania came out, and, you know, I think it was like a combination of, like, those three all hitting at the same time, or at least, like, in a row, as far as Marvel goes. And it was like, you know, especially with Quantumania, I think a lot of people were expecting that to be a much more serious movie than maybe it ended up being. You know, again, I'd have a whole review of that movie. You know, I found positives in it, but it definitely, you know, I'm not gonna sit here and it was Quantumania. I'm sure you've seen it. Anyways, but yeah, I think a lot of people have kind of been missing, like, hey, let's get back to the Winter Soldier, Civil War type, like, okay, serious thriller, things matter, more grounded even, kind of like what's going on in the world type movies and events, right? So that seems to be what they're hitting here. And yeah, I can say that I've definitely missed this along with a lot of people. Now, I do kind of wish they gave us a little bit more of the actual plot as to far as like what's happening. Like Skrulls are impersonating people, and yeah, again, this is his. So I guess he's been dead officially for like since before the snap, since Winter Soldier. He's officially on paper been dead, but obviously he's been like walking around, or at least Talos has. So we'll figure all that out. And yeah, I assume Talos has been calling him. We saw him call him, so I assume he's been up to date as far as like, well, here's what happened last time I saw Spider-Man. They even mentioned like, well, where are the Avengers? And even that, and I think this has been a big kind of issue with the MCU for the last couple of years, is that like we don't even know, and it sounds kind of crazy to say it out loud, we don't even know the status of the Avengers. As in, we don't know what are the members of the Avengers right now. You know what I mean? Like, who's actually a member? What does the team look like? I'm not saying we even need a movie right now. I'm just saying like in the world, as far as the world looks like, it's like we get these individual entries, and yet in none of these have they ever laid out as to like, okay, yeah, after Endgame, after we lost Cap and Iron Man, and Hawkeye retired / got his own show or whatever. It's like, so who's the Avengers? Who's in the group? Who's in charge right now? Is Shang-Chi in the group? Is She-Hulk gonna be in the group? Is Moon? I mean, I can't imagine Moon Knight's in the group. But it's like I think that, along with a lot of other things that have been missing from Marvel lately, it's just one of these things that feels like a missing piece, and again, not that we need an Avengers movie right now, but it's just like, hey, in one of these projects, maybe like this one here where Nick Fury, remember the guy who formed the Avengers, maybe we can get a little bit of an update of like, who are the Avengers right now, and I think it's because they don't even know. I think it's because they're working on Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, and maybe they haven't even decided who exactly the cast is, right? So that's why we haven't really gotten an update in the last couple years as to like what's going on. Anyways, yeah, this trailer looks cool. It's got the vibes that I think a lot of people have been missing. And yeah, Skrulls. Now, here's my other thing, and I kind of doubt it. I'm sure we're gonna get some reveals in this show, as far as like, we see Rhodey, and then maybe in this show we'll find out that the Rhodey that we saw earlier in the same show is not actually Rhodey. But are they gonna do something as drastic as like, oh yeah, the Rhodey that we've seen all the way since Iron Man 2 was not Rhodey the whole time? I don't think they're gonna do anything like that. I think that's my one worry, is that like, as cool as the plot is the fact of like, oh yeah, Skrulls have been among us the whole time since the 90s, right? I'm kind of worried that they're not actually gonna commit all the way and say something like, oh yeah, one of these characters that you've grown to care about from all these movies all the way back, one of them has actually never been that character. I don't think they'll do that. I feel like that will, it'll bother some people too much. They'll be like, oh well, then that character's ruined then, you know what I mean? So I feel like they won't dare to do that, or maybe they will. I don't know. Again, it's who knows what's going on at Marvel at this point in time, because they got a lot of stuff going on. Who knows what the plans are? So yeah, they could go ahead and say maybe Nick Fury's never been Nick Fury. Maybe he was gone in the 90s and it's been Talos the entire time. Wouldn't that be crazy? I don't think that's the case, but Yeah, who knows? Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you think they're actually gonna, dare to do some big reveal of like some long-standing character was never that character. That would be an interesting way to kind of maybe write themselves out of a situation, to be like, yeah, that was never the real character. Here's the real guy, It'd be kind of interesting. Anyways, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.